Hello, welcome to Firehouse Stories. My name is Bob and this is Doug, and we tell behind the scenes stories of the firehouse and the people that work in the firehouse. Doug's got a great story today about a fellow who really was enthusiastic about doing our job all the time.
Was he ever?
Yeah, he really liked to get up and he liked to go.
When I first came on the job, I'd been on maybe a couple months now, but I was still classified as a new recruit, and I was working on a downtown station on the engine, and we get a call. The call came in as an acid spill in an alleyway. So, and it was on a one-way road in the downtown. So we go up past the round, and we were coming back the proper way down the one-way road because we didn't know what alleyway it was. There's so many in the downtown, right? And the person that called it in didn't know exactly the address. They just said an alleyway off of the King. So anyways, we come down and we're stopping at all the alleyways looking up to see whether there's acid spill, and nothing. And we get to the intersection and we stop. Well, the driver hit the brakes a little harder because the traffic jammed up.
It stops at the intersection?
He stopped at the intersection, but it kind of made it sound like he set his maxi brakes.
Yeah.
He let his foot off the air brakes and rolled ahead a bit and then stopped again. Anyhow, my branch man, who is not a good branch man for a new recruit, but I was pretty laid back and cool on the truck. And I looked and he's gone. And he's gone to the side of the truck. And I looked and what's he doing? He's getting his air pack. Because we used to carry our air packs on the side of the truck on these harnesses that came out on like a gooseneck. And they would lower down. You'd take your air pack, put it on, pull the straps, lift yourself off, and you were free of the truck. Well, he's at the side, and he's got that air pack on, and all of a sudden the truck starts going, the traffic is cleared in front of us, and we start going through. Well, all of a sudden he's like, what? Like that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Is the door still open on the side of the
yeah, the door's still open, and he's on the far side of the intersection, and we drive through, and we get down to where the acid spill is, and the captain gets out, and I said, he's back there. I said, what do you mean he's back there? He's looking. Come on up here, get up here, like that. So he runs to the intersection. Well, now the lights turned red for him and green for the traffic.
No.
He gets hit by a car. He rolls across the hood of the car with his air pack. Doesn't stop. His legs keep going moving, and he doesn't stop. He rolls right across the hood of the car onto the ground on the other side, and he starts running. And then we get there. Anyhow, this guy was unbelievable. It didn't matter.
A dedicated guy, and
Dedicated.
When he went, he wanted to go.
Just a little too fast. There has to be a happy medium, and he didn't have that happy medium. That's for darn sure.
Well, listen, I got a ghost story to tell you.
The ghost.
A ghost story to tell you. Woo! Just down the block from our fire station, there was an old Armoury's. And it was in use as an Armoury's for a long time, when we were at the station. And they sold it to a hotel company, Radisson or something like that. And they started to build a hotel on the land because it was right downtown, very,
They didn't
desirable.
tear it down. They just
No.
Well,
They tear some of it down, but they tore the middle, and then they start to build up through it.
the tower, yeah.
Yeah, the tower, and there's a tower beside it, coming up beside it, but they still maintain the Armoury floor and the promenade around the three sides of it.
Yep.
So, our captain was a friend of the construction foreman, and he said, "Can you give us a tour?" And he said, "Sure." So Sunday morning, no construction, we went over there, and we entered by a man door that was sort of you just use it for construction workers, right? There's when you're walking in and out, and we all walked in there and walked in. Now the promenade was maybe 10 feet wide, right?
Yep.
And we walked out of the promenade from underneath, and we looked up, and you could see the whole railing and stuff. And they're down almost to the end, about 20 feet from the end, 30 feet from the end. There was this guy in a Humphrey Bogart type of trench coat.
You saw him?
I saw him. Everybody saw him.
Really?
He had a fedora on, right? And he's looking down at us, leaning on his elbows, looking down at us. So the foreman says, "Well, Jesus, he should be here." So what we did, there was like 17 of us, you know, he put a guy to, you know, we're on the street level. We just went to every street level to make sure he didn't get out.
Yeah.
And they sent some guys up and he called the police and so on and so forth. Search as we would, we couldn't find this guy. And he was gone. He was gone. And so flash forward about 5 or 6 years, and you know the construction is finished. This is a hotel, and this area where the Armoury is a restaurant. So my wife and I are in the restaurant having a lunch, and the waitress is sitting there, and I said to her, just out of curiosity, I said, "Have you seen the ghost?" And she said, "Who told you about the ghost? We're not supposed to talk about that."
Really?
Yeah. And I said, "Have you seen the ghost?" He said, "No." And she said, and I thought, well, that's very interesting. You know, we're talking 5 years, and we're talking an entirely different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
And somebody's telling me about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So fast forward another 3 years, and we go up, and up on this promenade level on the one side, there's a nice bar and a lounge, and they have this Sunday brunch on there that's just second to none. You know, it's got everything. And you can sort of graze on it for hours. So whenever we have people from out of town on Sundays, we go there, and it's sort of like a really nice place to go and spend a Sunday morning. So I go up to get some more orange juice and champagne from the bartender. And while he's doing it, I talked to him and said, "You ever seen the ghost?" I thought I'd ask him. And he says, "Oh, yeah." He says, "You know about the ghost?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "It's right across." And we were on the opposite side where we saw the guy. But he says, "It's right across there, room 219. And there were the promenade, and there was rooms off them that they had let. He said, "People from all over the world book this room because of the spirit."
Well, that's cool. I like that.
You know, that's what he's telling me this. He doesn't know. I haven't told him we've seen anything, right? And so you know, it's very interesting. So I can't tell you whether there's spirits or whether there isn't spirits, but I know that I got spirits in that orange juice with the champagne. So, anyways, thank you for listening today. My name's Bob. This is Doug. This is Firehouse Stories. If you liked us, press like. And if you'd like us to come to your mailbox every Friday when we post, please press subscribe. Thank you.
I know.